Hi, TCC members. It's Julie from the weight room. Missing you guys during this quarantine. Hopefully we're going to be done with it soon. Anyway, today we're going to talk a little bit about foam rolling and getting some relief for those sore muscles or sore joints. My youngest son, Ryan, is going to help us out today and demonstrate, but I want to be able to walk you through this and kind of coach you through it. So where we're going to start first is going to be on the quads, okay? So as a reference throughout this whole video, each muscle section or group that we're going to be talking about, you have two zones. Basically, we're going to be dividing the muscles in half, working the lower half of the muscles and then working the upper half of the muscles. Zone 1 on the quads will be right above the kneecaps. So go ahead and roll forward there, Ryan. Thank you. So zone 1 on the quads is going to be right above the kneecaps to about mid-thigh. So when you start on the foam roller, I want you to go really slow, okay? Thinking about 1 inch per second. So why are we doing that? We're looking for tender spots in the muscles, okay? And on a scale of 1 to 10, we're looking for those tender spots to range from about a 4 to an 8 on that scale of 1 to 10. On the lower part of that, like the 1 to 3, we might not be getting any benefits from the foam rolling. If we're at that 9 or 10, there might be something else going on that we should address. So let's stick with that 4 to 8 area, okay? So again, we're working the first zone on the quads from the top of the knee right up to the middle of the thigh, okay? Ryan, have you found any sore spots?
No.
Not too bad yet, okay. That's zone 1. Now we're gonna go ahead and shift to zone 2, which is going to be mid-thigh up towards the hip. So remember, going nice and slow, okay, about 1 inch per minute. If we find a sore spot, what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold that sore spot for about 30 seconds, okay? So let's hold that one for a second, Ryan. Go ahead and lift up your hips a little bit too, okay? So when you find that sore spot, you're good to hold it for 30 seconds to 60 seconds or so, and then we're gonna do little itty bitty rolls right there, okay? So we found that sore spot, and we're gonna do small rolls back and forth. Right now we have weight on both of his quads. Could you shift weight to more on one side? Absolutely, it depends on how you're feeling, okay? So now that we've done those little 4-inch rolls, we're gonna go ahead and extend it all the way back up into that second zone. So we're going again from the mid-thigh all the way up to the hip bone. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and switch the position of the foam roller and we're gonna work the inside of the thigh or the adductors. This one is one that always just, makes me see stars a little bit. So if you can't see him perfectly, he's actually gonna be in a plank position with his weight up off of the floor, and we're gonna start in that zone 1. So again, from the lower part of, or from the knee to mid-thigh. So holding that plank, okay, go ahead and lift this knee up off the floor too, and just rolling back and forth. Perfect. How does that feel? Fantastic. All right, so have we found a sore spot there, Ryan?
No.
Yeah?
No.
Okay. So now we're gonna go ahead and go to zone 2, which is mid-thigh up towards the pelvis. Nice and slow again, about 1 inch per second, waiting until you find that sore spot. So now we're gonna say that we've found a sore spot. So I'd like you to watch what he's gonna do with his top leg. We're gonna keep as much weight on that leg as we can without it hurting bad. And we're just gonna flex and extend that knee about 4 or 5 times. So go ahead and pull that heel back, right? Keep it up off the floor if you can. And lift up this hip, okay? There you go. So now we're kind of digging into that sore spot by doing the flexion and the extension. We're gonna do about 4 or 5 times, so I think he's got one more. Good, and now we're gonna go ahead and do those little rolls on the inside of that thigh to kind of loosen it up again. So right now he's got his right leg resting on the floor, totally okay. It's up to you on how much weight and pressure you want to have on the inside of that thigh. How's that feeling? Is it feeling loose? All right. So we're going to go ahead and switch positions again. We're going to go to our 4th position and we're going to hit the hamstrings. So we're going to change the angle of that foam roller. We're going to put it right underneath the hamstrings. So again, back to the 2 zones, from the knee to mid-thigh, okay? And then zone 2 is gonna be the thigh to the glute or the hip bone. So you gotta put your hands behind you, lift yourself up, okay? And then do a couple of little rolls halfway up the thigh, and again, about 1 inch per second. There you go. So find whatever hand position is comfortable for you. Some of you might be comfortable with your hands flat. Some of you might need some dumbbells. Some of you might be okay on your fists, whatever works for you. And also, remember, just keep it the lower range of motion right now. Also, you can put more weight on one leg if you need to, okay? And that's totally possible and totally okay to do. Have you found a sore spot yet? Still, you're not sore. That's good. Means we're not working hard enough. All right, so let's go ahead and hit zone 2. Halfway through the thigh. Justin, can you see this? Halfway through the thigh, and then up to the glute. Can you check the camera angle?
It's good.
Okay, good. Good. So one of the ways that we can intensify this a little bit is, go ahead and keep your weight up there again, please, is cross one leg over the other and lift your feet up off the floor and shift your weight back. So now we're gonna get a little bit more weight onto that leg. So again, if we find a sore spot on that hamstring, it's okay to just sit and hold it and breathe through it, take some deep breaths, and let your weight kind of help to loosen up the knot in the muscle. All right, so we're gonna go back to, well, to our 4th position. So scoot back a little bit, please, and have a seat on the foam roller. So now we're gonna hit the hip and the glute. So we're gonna work on that right side again. So I'm gonna ask Ryan to keep his right leg extended and put his right hand behind him. So that left foot is flat on the floor. So again, 2 zones, right? We've got the lower part, which is gonna be kind of the more meaty part of the hip or the glute, and we're gonna put some pressure there. So go ahead and lean back and get a little bit more on the glute. There you go, good job. So keeping as much weight on that leg if we can. And again, doing about 1 inch per second as we're doing this at first, and looking for any sore spots or tender spots. Remember on that, about 4 to 8 range on that 1 to 10. How you doing there, Ryan? Okay, great. All right, so now we're gonna do zone 2 on the glute. So we're gonna come up a little bit higher and get more towards the top of the hips. Again, nice and slow, about 1 inch per minute. Second. Thank you. All right, and so now we're gonna modify this one a little bit. We're gonna take the right ankle and put it over the left knee. Nope, keep that one up, good. Now, keep the pressure on the right glute, okay? So now we've changed the angle and how we're able to hit that muscle a little bit deeper. Do you feel the difference there? Yeah, okay. So you've got 3 different levels of doing the foam roller here, right? If you don't feel it too much in that first level, then go ahead and switch it to this. And you can shift your weight so you'd face the camera a little bit more. You can shift that weight so you're really hitting the glute. Do you feel a sore spot now?
Yes.
Yes. All right, so go ahead and breathe through it. Take a nice big deep breath in. Just let your weight sit there for a second. And we're gonna pretend that 30 seconds has gone by, and we're gonna do a couple of just small rolls right there to really hit that sore spot. Excellent. Loosening up?
Yes.
Good. All right, that's all we're gonna do for foam rolling today. So remember, you got 2 sides. Do them both, okay? It should take you about 15 or 20 minutes. We'll do a couple other foam rolling videos to where we're gonna hit the IT bands, the calves, and the feet. Then we're gonna do some upper body ones too. So today, remember, we've hit the quads, we've hit the adductors, we've hit the hamstrings and the glutes, all right? Hopefully that loosens you all up from all your exercise. Thanks, see you soon, bye.